Vidyama can start.
Yes, Swamiji.
Om. Om.
ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ओम शांति 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 प्रज्ञानां शुप्रतानैः स्थिरचरनिकरव्यापिभिर्व्याप्य लोकान् भुक्त्वा भोगान् स्थविष्ठान् पुनरपि धिषणोद्भासितान् कामजन्यान् पीत्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् स्वपिति मधुरभुङ् मायया भोजयन्नः माया संख्यातुरीयं परममृतमजं ब्रह्म यत्तन्नतोऽस्मि यो विश्वात्मा विधिज विषयान् प्राश्य भोगान् स्थविष्ठान् पश्चाच्चान्यान् स्वमति विभवान् ज्योतिषा स्वेन सूक्ष्मान् सर्वानेतान् पुनरपि शनैः स्वात्मनि स्थापयित्वा हित्वा सर्वान् विशेषान् विगतगुणगणः पात्वसौ नस्तुरीयः
Mandukya Upanishad, 3rd chapter, Karika 15. Read.
रुल्लोह विस्फुलिंगाद्यैः सृष्टिर्याचोदितान्यथा उपायस्सोऽवताराय नास्ति भेदः कथञ्चन.
It is true that in the Karmakanda portion, that is before the Srishti Kathana, the creation was described, many statements of the Shruti speak of duality in the Karmakanda. That doesn't mean the Shruti has Tatparya in that. It is only the secondary sense, because at the end, the non-dual Swarupa, the Advaya Swarupa of Brahma, Atma is going to be established. From that standpoint, it is told here, and in Srishti, whatever that duality comes, etc., only the purpose is Upaya Saha Avataraya. Saha, the Srishti Prakara, is a Upaya. Upaya means for what? Avataraya. Avatara, to reveal what Atma is, to reveal what Brahma is, or introduce also to reveal what it is. So therefore, Shruti doesn't mean that actual creation has taken place, but it is a means to make one discover one's Swarupa. It cannot be taken in the primary sense, for which Bhashyakara gave, like Prana Samvada. In Upanishad, we had a Prana Samvada, means dialogue between the Prana, that means Indriyas, etc., Prana, Indriya, and all that. Now, Bhashyakara says, look here, though such dialogues are available, they are not actual dialogues. such an incident didn't take place, but it's a figurative way of expressing a particular point. So that is what he said. Read Yatha Prana Samvade.
यथा प्राण संवादे वागाद्यासुर पाप्म वेदात्याख्यायिका कल्पिता प्राण वैशिष्ट्यवबोधावताराय.
So in the Prana Samvada, dialogue with the Prana, says that Vagadi Asura Papa Vedadi means they were chanting Vedas and Asuras were attacking, etc. But Pranas, they could not do anything at all. This is all Kalpita, this Akhyayika, this narration, this story is what Kalpita, it's imagined. What for? Vaishishtya Bodhavatara. To show Avataraya, to show, reveal that Prana is superior. Prana is superior in comparison with the rest of the Indriyas. To show that a Akhyayika, a story is imagined. Now, this statement is being contradicted by Purvapaksha. He says, no, sir, it's a real story only. It is not an imagined story. Therefore, he says, continue this Purvapaksha now. Continue Bhashya.
तदपि असिद्धम इति चेत न.
Tadapi asiddham iti chet. Tadapi means even our statement that such narration is only imagined. Purvapaksha says, no, it is not so. You cannot prove that they are imagined stories. They are real things. So, asiddham iti chet. If you argue, O Purvapakshi, if you argue that such stories are real and not imagined, we have to say you, answer is, Siddhanti says, no, sir, it is not so. Why not so? The reasons are being given. Shakha Vedeshu.
शाखा भेदेषु अन्यथा अन्यथा च प्राणादि संवाद श्रवणात्.
Listen, same narration, same incident is described differently in different shakhas of the Vedas. If it were a true story, if it were a true incident, everywhere the same description must be there. It is not so. This Prana Samvada description varies from Shaka to Shaka. So therefore it says, Shaka Bhedeshu, in different types of, different varieties of Shakas, Vedic Shakas, sections. Anyatha, Anyatha means differently, in a different way. Prana Adi Samvada Shravana. Prana, Adi for walk, etc. Dialogue between the prana and other indriyas. This Shravana means it is so told in the Shruti differently in different shakas. Again he says, यदि ही
यदि हि संवादः परमार्थ एवाभूत् एकरूपः एव संवादः सर्वशाखासु अश्रोष्यद् विरुद्धानेक प्रकारेण न अश्रोष्यत्.
यदि ही, in case as you Purvapakshi says, Samvadaha, the dialogue between pranas and vak, etc., all these. Paramarthaha eva bhut was so truly that this dialogue took place like that. Means it was so in reality. In that case, what happened? ekarupaha eva samvadaha. A dialogue of the same type, samvada, should be described or should be available in all shakas of the Veda. Sarva shakasu ashroshan. It should have been narrated so in all the shakas of the Vedas. Not only that, aneka prakarena na ashrosha. It would not have appeared differently in different shakas if it were really so. It would be described as it has happened, but here we find variations, so therefore it is not so. Whereas such different statements do appear in the Shruti. Continue.
श्रूयते तु तस्मात् न तादर्थ्यं संवादश्रुतीनाम्.
So various types of dialogues are Shruyate means you should not take as a word mentioned in the Shruti. So are the Shruti statements. Shruti statements give different types of dialogues. Therefore, what is the conclusion? Tasmat na tadarthyam samvada shrutina. The samvada shrutis, such dialogue, are na tadarthyam. Not to say that it actually took place so. Not to show that it was a real or a true dialogue. Tadarthyam means to describe what actually is told in that narration. Means narration as a real incident. No, it is not so. Now, similarly, he concludes the Utpatti Vakyas also are to be taken secondarily and not in the primary sense. Continue.
तथा उत्पत्तिवाक्यानि प्रत्येतव्यानि.
Tatha, just like prana, vak, etc., samvada, dialogue, Utpatti Vakyani, the statements of Shruti which describe the creation, the pratyetavyani should be known so. They also should be taken in the secondary sense and not in the primary sense. Still, Purvapaksha is not ready to give up. Sir, you are talking of variations in such description of the dialogue. That is because they are from different kalpas. And different kalpas, some changes in the Srishti Prakara, etc. could have taken place. You may say, for example, Ramayana. Every kalpa there is a Rama. In Satyuga, Rama is the Ramayana. In fact, there is one Kaka Bhushanda. Kaka Bhushanda is a Paramadhyani, great yogic master. Of course, is a crow, bodily is crow only. He has seen, I think, around 27 Rama avatars. This Kaka Bhushanda is a special species. This is not a special entity. Because even in Pralaya he survives. Even in Pralaya he survives. Means he doesn't get destroyed. Whereas his brothers, etc., got destroyed. It's a big story it is. Now, he said there are some variations. Not only that, in the Yoga Vasishta at one place, Vasishta tells Rama, in one kalpa, some past one kalpa, not immediate past, in some one kalpa, you had approached me for this knowledge as you approach now. But in that kalpa, all throughout your mission, you remained ignorant only. In spite of my teaching, you didn't get the Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana. But other kalpas you did get. Means what? Some variation is there. You need to find like Kamban Ramayana, etc. Some variations are there. It is not in this particular kalpa, sir. It refers to some past kalpa. Like that, sir, why not this prana samvada varies from shaka to shaka, depending on the srishti, the different kalpas. That is what Purvapaksha now is going to object. Continue. Kalpa sarga bhedat.
कल्पसर्ग भेदात् संवाद श्रुतीनाम् उत्पत्ति श्रुतीनां च प्रतिसर्गम अन्यथात्वम इति चेत न.
Kalpa sarga bhedat. Kalpa sarga bhedat means in the pratikalpa, in every kalpa, there being slight difference in the mode of creation. Savvada shrutinam, utpatti shrutinam cha. The shruti statements which deal with the prana samvada, etc. And also the utpatti statement, the shruti statements which describe the creation of these pratisargam. In each and every srishti creation, anyathatvam iti che, they are differently described. Anyatha, one description varies from the other. Iti che, if you Purvapakshi argues so, says no. Siddhanti says what you say is not correct. Why not correct? Reason is being given in the forthcoming Bhashya. Read.
निष्प्रयोजनत्वात् यथोक्त बुद्ध्यवतार प्रयोजन व्यतिरेकेण.
Says, listen, these Shruti statements about Utpatti, creation, etc., except for the purpose of revealing Atma Sarupa, Brahma Sarupa, they are totally useless. Nishprayojanatva, because they are useless. Except what? Vyatirikana means except this purpose. What is the purpose? Yathokta buddhyavatara prayojana. Yathokta means what? Brahmatmaikatva. Buddhi, knowledge. Avatara, revealing, introducing. Prayojana vyatirikana. Except for the purpose of revealing the identity between Jiva and Brahma, all Srishti Vakyas are redundant. They have no utility at all other than this purpose. Similarly, are the Samvada Shrutis. The Shruti statement referring to the Prana Samvada, etc. Continue.
न हि अन्यत् प्रयोजनवत्वं संवादोत्पत्ति श्रुतीनां शक्यं कल्पयितुम्.
संवादोत्पत्ति श्रुतीनां अन्य प्रयोजनवत्वं कल्पयितुं नहि शक्यम्. It is nahi shakyam. It is not possible to what? Kalpayitum, to imagine anya prayojanavatvam. Anya prayojanavatvam means as the dialogues or descriptions which have got different purpose to be proved. The different purpose is the bheda or duality is real. Utpattis, the theories of creation as enunciated by Shruti, is not meant to establish that the duality or bheda is real. So also, Samvada Shrutis are not meant to establish that actual dialogue did take place. No, it is not so. So you cannot imagine so. Means they are meant for a specific purpose. In the case of Utpatti Shruti, this Shruti statement describing creation, they are meant to reveal Atma Swarupa, Brahma Swarupa, give its knowledge. As for Samvada Shruti, they are only to show that prana is superior and there is no this intention to say that such actual dialogue took place. Still, Purva says, no, sir. These are given by the Shruti for the sake of upasanas. Let us see what Purva has to say. Tatatva.
तथा त्वप्रतिपत्तये ध्यानार्थम इति चेत न.
Siddhanti tells the Purva, if you say the Utpatti Shruti or Samvada Shruti, or you should know what is Samvada Shruti, dialogue between prana and others, are meant for upasana, though so that the upasaka becomes that upasya. See, in upasana, a lower object or entity is looked upon or meditated upon as a higher principle. As a result, by successful upasana, the upasaka becomes that higher principle. This is the principal upasana. Nikrishta vastuni utkrishta tattva darshanam. In a lower object, seeing a higher principle, that is the principal upasana. So, the Purva says, these Utpatti Shrutis, the statements of Shruti describing creation or dialogue of prana, etc., are meant for upasanas. Iti che, that is what tatatva. Tatatva means to become one with the dheya. See, in meditation or in dhyana, the dhyata, the meditator, repeatedly gives the preoccupation, the mind of the dheya by conscious, deliberate efforts. The dhyata, the meditator, is maintaining in the mind the vrittis, the thoughts corresponding to dheya, meditated entity. The attempt, because in between, because due to lack of practice, in between other thoughts come. By conscious effort, you have to eliminate other thought and deliberately maintain this dheya. Once that practice is there, once the upasaka proceeds and succeeds, at final level, all that is there is dheyaika gochara vritti. A vritti which objectifies only dheya, the meditated entity alone. No other vrittis other than dheya can be. This is the state of mind of absorption in the dheya. It is in samadhi, in absorption in the dheya. Now he says, Purva says, no sir, this is not applicable because here such a thing is not there at all. A worthy entity on which you can meditate and which is a higher principle, and your mind can get absorbed so that you will get some better results, etc. This doesn't apply at all. Why it is not so? Let us see. Tathatva pratipattaye. Pratipattaye means praptaye. Tathatva. Tathatva means becoming one with the what is meditated upon. That is pranadi bhava praptaye. To become prana, etc. Dhyanartham. You can't say to become Srishti. But that is what the Purva Paksha says. Dhyanartham, for that purpose, such statements describe the dhyana, upasana. Iti chet, if you say not, that is not so. Why is not so? Bhashya Karika gives the reason. Kalahotpatti.
कलहोत्पत्ति प्रलयानां प्रतिपत्तेः अनिष्टत्वात्.
See, in the Prana Samvada, there is a kalaha, quarrel. Is quarrel desirable? No, not desirable. Again, kalaha in the Prana Samvada. Not desirable. So other thing. Utpatti pralayanam pratipatti prapti. Getting quarrel or getting involved in the quarrel or getting involved in the utpatti and pralaya. Desirable? Utpatti means what? You already trusted yourself in the creation, in the samsara. Is it desirable? Pralaya, you will not be able to bear it. Of course, you will not be there at all bodily. And if at all by some power you could sustain it, you will regret why I got involved in that. You know that once Markandeya Muni, you know, Chiranjeevi, you know the Markandeya story, you know that. He was sitting in the ashram outside. Just a thought came. I would like to know, just his thought was this. What is pralaya is? Shiva and Parvati were going aerially. And Shiva told Parvati, see, this is the hermitage of Markandeya. So at that time, this thought passed through the mind of Markandeya. Suddenly something happened. As a huge deluge. And in that Markandeya is aware of all these things. His body is intact. And he is caught up and tossed hither, thither, etc. Horrible experiences. For a long time it took place. Shiva thought, enough of this, he withdrew it. And he found that, my God, desirable. They say drought for many years, as if 1,000 suns are ablaze simultaneously. And afterwards, torrential rain, entire earth gets submerged. What? Will be able to tolerate all these things. Your body will tolerate all this. And you are talking of dhyana to get such situations? Impossible. So therefore say, pratipatti. Pratipattehe adishtatva. Praptehe adishtatva. Adishtatva means undesirable. Gaining or entering into a quarrel. Or entering into utpatti or pralaya is what? Undesirable thing. So therefore, these statements cannot be the statements meant for upasanas as envisaged by the Purva Paksha. Therefore, there is no other purpose whatsoever about the Utpatti Shrutis other than to reveal Atma Sarupa, Brahma Sarupa, for which these Shrutis serve as the means. Tasmat
तस्मात् उत्पत्त्यादिश्रुतयः आत्मैकत्वबुद्ध्यवताराय एव न अन्यार्थाः कल्पयितुं युक्ताः.
Therefore, for the reason given so far, Utpatyadi Shrutaya, the Shrutis of Utpatti, etc., different types of creation, etc., Atmaikatva Buddhyavatārāya, Buddhehe Jnanasya Avatarāya, to reveal, introduce what? Atmaikatva, Jiva Brahma Aikya. To reveal Jiva Brahma Aikya Avataraya. These are Utpatti Adi Shruti, Uttati Pradaya, the Shrutis are meant. Anyarthaha na Anyarthaha kalpayitum na yukta. It is not proper to imagine their utility for other purpose, like establishing duality or for the sake of upasanas. This is not correct. This is not proper. So that being the case, the duality that is Bheda, that is described in the Utpatyadi Shruti, should not be taken in the primary sense. So they are only secondarily, Gaunata, they are told so. He concludes, Ataha.
अतः नास्त्युत्पत्त्यादिकृतः भेदः कथञ्चन.
Kathanchana, na kathanchana. No way whatsoever. Utpatyadi kritaha vedaha nasti. Veda, distinction, duality, cast by or described by Utpatyadi Shruti, Utpatti, Pralaya, etc. Shruti, it is not there at all. They are only Upaya Sovataraya. The Srishti Krama is a means to reveal the Swarupa. That's why I see no Srishti Shruti concur with each other. In different Upanishads, we find different varieties of Shrutis. So therefore, if actually was there, it would have been one way only. This for different purpose. So thus that Utpatyadi Shrutis speak of duality was refuted. Again, these Utpatyadi Shrutis are not meant for upasana. That is being now refuted. Means they are not also meant for upasanas. In Shrutis, there are many upasanas, but they are meant for specific type of seekers to help them evolve from the level at what they are now in. The purpose is not to say or to establish duality, because upasana means duality is there. Upasana Shrutis certainly contain duality. Bheda is there. See, upasaka, meditator, upasya, meditator entity, upasana, bheda, duality. Yes, but they are not meant for establishing the duality, but they are only means for the betterment or equipping the mind of the seeker to gain the knowledge. That is the purpose. So that is not being told. Let us see now. Read 16.
यदि पर एव आत्मा नित्यशुद्ध बुद्धमुक्त स्वभावः एकः परमार्थः सन् एकमेवाद्वितीयम् इत्यादि श्रुतिभ्यः असत् अन्यत् किमर्थेयम् उपासनोपदिष्टा
Continue.
आत्मा वा अरे द्रष्टव्यः य आत्मा अपहत पाप्मा सक्रतुं कुर्वीत आत्मेत्येवोपासीत इत्यादि श्रुतिभ्यः कर्माणि च अग्निहोत्रादीनि शृणु तत्र कारणम्.
Like this means Bhashyakara gives us the context of this forthcoming Karika, 16th Karika. Why he has said so in this 16th Karika? The context is like this. The Purapaksha says objects like this. Yadi, in case, paraha eva atma. Atma is Paramatma, Advaya, non-dual only. Then, why do the Shrutis describe the Upasanas? Upasanas means duality is involved. You are talking only Advaya Paramatma only is there. In that case, Shruti should not describe Upasana. So duality is involved. She says objects. If Advaya Paramatma alone was the truth, Shrutis will never speak of Upasana. That's what he said. Yadi, in case, Paraha eva Atma. If Atma is Paramatma, non-dual in nature. And what is nature? Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swabhavaha. Nitya Shuddha, always pure, nothing other than that. Nitya Buddha, always Jnapti Swarupa, Jnana Swarupa, no trace of ignorance. Nitya Mukta, always free from samsara, no trace of samsara in there. Swabhavaha, of such nature, ekaha paramarthaha san. Paramartha is the only one. See? And which is as revealed where in Chandogya 6.2.2. Ekameva advitiyam. As told in the Chandogya, Ekam eva advitiyam. One non-dual principle alone, as Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Swabhava, in reality is there, Ityadi Shrutibhya. That is the truth. Shrutibhya means, see, taken this way. Ekameva dvitiyam ityadi shrutibhya yadi paraha eva atma nitya shuddha buddha mukta swabhavaha ekaha paramartha san, if Atma is so, the question comes. Not only that, asad anyat, anything and everything other than such paramarthataha paramatma is asad. Asad means mithya. If so, now the Purva Paksha asks the question. Anyat, then kimartha iyam upasana upadishta. Why does the Shruti describe the upasanas? Because if Paramartha Atma is so, there is no occasion for upasana. Why no occasion? There is no duality. Meditator different from the meditated, this context doesn't arise at all. How meditation is possible? Everything is Advaya Brahma Paramatma Sarupa only. See, then Kimartha iyam upasana upadishta. Why such upasana meditations are told in the Shruti? What are those upasanas? Purva Paksha gives few samples. Atma va are drashtavyaha. Actually, Atma va are drashtavyaha from Brihadaranyaka is not meant for upasana. It is for Shravana, Manana, and finally Nidhyasana. But what Purva Paksha does is Atma va are shrotavyaha, drashtavyaha, mantavyaha, nididhyastavyaha. He picks up that nididhyasana. See, look, Atma va are in this statement, Brihadaranyaka 245, again it repeats elsewhere also in the Brihadaranyaka. The Atma should be directly known, for which Shrotavyaha, Mantavyaha, Nididhyasana. See, Nididhyasana comes. Nididhyasana as meditation. And when you say meditation, the one who does Nididhyasana meditate is different from the what is to be meditated upon Nididhyasana, the day of Nididhyasana. Now here you should know one thing. For meditation, I hope you know what is meditation. What is meditation? Right now you must meditate on something else. You are physically sitting here to listen this teaching, but your mind must be thinking continuously of something else. Meditation is nothing but thinking of some entity continuously to the exclusion of dissimilar thoughts. In the beginning is the attempt, but afterward one succeeds in that. Now, this is called dhyana. But in Vedanta, we have got another word also, nididhyasana. Literally, it means meditation only. But from the practice, the word dhyana is used for both meditation on an entity with form, saguna, and also meditation on an entity without form, nirguna. Saguna dhyana, Ishvara dhyana with a name and form. Yeah. Nirguna Brahma dhyana without name and form. Nama Rupa is not there. Dhyana means it is used it is used for both Saguna dhyana, Nirguna dhyana. But nididhyasana word is not used for Saguna dhyana. Nididhyasana word by practice, by custom, is reserved for Nirguna dhyana. So therefore, But the Purva Paksha is not going to into all the details, sir. See, look. Atma, Vare, Drashtava, etc. It ends where in the Nididhyastava. Meditation, Upasana. If Parabrahma is only one non-dual, meditation is not possible. And when Shruti says, asks to meditate, it must be possible. And when it is possible, when duality is there. This is how Purva Paksha argues that Shruti speaks of duality, therefore duality is a reality. That is what he means. Drashtavya, that is one sample. Other one, Chandogya 871 and 8712. 871, 872. Yaha Atma Apahata Papma. The Atma with Apahata Papma means Papa Rahita. Prajapati once made us declared in this royal court, one who has got the knowledge of this Atma, he describes. One of them is Apahata Papma, Papa Rahita. He gets freed from samsara. Now see, when Yaha Atma Apahata Papma, the Atma who is free from Papa, what does it mean? Papa Sahita Atma also is there. Duality or not? This was Purva Paksha's imagination. Prajapati didn't mean that. That Atma is always Apahita Papma, free from Papa. And if you think it is with Papa, that is your mistake of superposition, adhyasa. Yaha Atma says, therefore, say what? See, look, duality is there. Atma with Papa, Atma without Papa. That is what he means. Saha kratum purvita. Chandogya. 3:14:1. So Saha, what you do? That is kratum purvita. Kratu here is dhyana. Where adhyavasaya, ascertainment is dhyana. So one should meditate. See, we said meditate means what? Meditate is different, meditated is different. Duality has come. Further, Atma iti eva upasita. Atma iti eva upasita. That word it is, this is Atma in this manner. In this manner means really it is not Atma. But you meditate it as Atma. That it shows as. As means not in reality, but you imagine. Atma, this is Bradhanaka 147. Ityadi Shruti. That it shows Upasana. So therefore, Shruti itself speaks of Upasana. Upasanas without the dualities are not possible. And you are talking of non-dual Atma. How is it possible? This is one thing. This is as far as what is concerned. Upasanas. As for Karma Kanda, don't ask it. All duality. Daivata, deity invoked is different from the Yajamana. Fire, different. Oblations are different. Mantras are different. Ritviks are different. Yajamana Patni is different. Wife of Yajamana. How many dualities? Therefore, say, Karmani cha Agnihotradini. Karmani cha. If Advaita, non-duality is reality, it will go against all karmas described in the Vedas. Karma means duality, Dvaita, Bheda. In non-dual, karma is impossible. Shruti itself speaks of karmas. So therefore, they karmani cha. What are those? Agnihotra adini. Agnihotra adini. So these are what? Described in the Vedas. Therefore, you cannot argue, you means Vedanti cannot argue that Atma, Brahma is non-dual in nature. Shruti itself speaks of duality. So this is all a sample. Like this, many Shruti quotations can be given. For that now, the Bhashya Karika, Siddhanti gives the answer. Shunu tatra karanam. Tatra, the duality described in the context of upasana and karma. Why so? Listen to the reason. Shunu tatra karanam. That is what means. Why this? See, if, not if, in spite of the truth being Advaya Atma Brahma, why does Shruti speak of upasanas and karmas which necessarily involve duality? Without duality being present, it's not, this karma upasanas are not possible. Therefore, you can't stick to only Advaya and you starting this. The Karika gives the reason. Yes, sir. Shruti does speak of, what is that? Duality in terms of upasanas and karmas. But it has got a purpose. What is that purpose? Though the reality, the final truth is Advaya Brahma, all do not have that ready frame of mind by which its knowledge can be gained. Without such ready mind, how can you get knowledge? So that therefore it becomes imperative for Mother Shruti to give some means at the present level of these seekers, depending on their maturity and viveka, so that by taking to such practices, in course of time, they get that ready frame of mind by which they are able to know Advaya Brahma. From that standpoint, true Vedas do speak of karma and upasana. This is told in the Karika now. Read Karika 16.
आश्रमास्त्रिविधाहीन मध्यमोत्कृष्टदृष्टयः उपासनोपदिष्टेयं तदर्थमनुकम्पया.
Ashramaha Trividhaha. Be careful about this word ashrama. Which ashrama? Not hermitages. Brahmacharya ashrama, stages in life. Grihastha ashrama, Vanaprastha ashrama, Sannyasa ashrama. This is ashrama. But what is meant here is not ashramas. What is meant here is ashraminaha. those who belong to these 4 types of ashramas. Not only that, you have to include that Varninaha. Who is Varni? Who belong to Chaturvarna. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. In short, Vedopadishta Margagaha. What is meant by ashrama here is those who follow the path told by Vedas. Whether they are eligible for karma or upasana, whatever it may be, but they have got Shraddha, Astikya Buddhi in the Vedas. And they follow what is told by the Vedas. So, those who follow the Vedic path, that is now say, remember, Ashramaha means Ashraminaha, Varninaha means Vedopadishta Margagaha. Karminaha also is included. So, these are ashramis, Trividha. They are of 3 types. What is the 3 types? Means they are having 3 types of drishti. Drishti means sight, figuratively. Your drishti means darshana samarthya. They have got that capacity to know the truth truth in a 3 different manner. What is the 3? Hina, Madhyama, Utkrishta Drishtaya. Hina Drishtaya, Madhyama Drishtaya, Utkrishta Drishtaya. Those who have got very poor capacity, very low capacity to know the truth. Madhyama Drishtaya. Those who have got mediocre capacity to know the truth. Uttama Drishtaya. Those who have got well-developed capacity to know the truth. So therefore, those who follow the path of the Veda have got such 3 types of person having varying degree of capacity to gain the Atmajnana. Therefore, for the earlier 2, Hina Drishti and Madhyama Drishti, Vedas recommend karma and upasana so that they become the one who are Utkrishta Drishtaya, full capacity to gain the Atmajnana, Brahmajnana. So therefore, Upasana Upadishtayam Tadartham, for their sake. For the sake of Hina Drishti and Madhyama Drishti. Iyam Upasana, this Upasana, Upadakshina for karma also. These Upasanas and karmas are what? Anukampaya Upadishta. Shrutya, by Shruti Vedas, Anukampaya. Anukampaya means out of compassion. These are not yet ready. These should be made ready. As far as our Sanatana Dharma is concerned, Vedas are concerned, there is a remedy for each and every type of individual. Nobody can be what? Thrown away as what? Incorrigible. So therefore, these are the means recommended by who? The Upasa, the Vedas. So, and in this, duality is a necessity. So Shruti comes down from the final truth and caters to these people at their level of ignorance, so that in course of time they develop their mind in such a way they are able to appreciate, discover the Advaya Swarupa Brahma. This is what the Karika will see next the Bhashya.
स्वस्ति स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्याय्येन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः।